Yo, what is up, YouTube? Back with another video. And today I'm going to be going over the Week 6 Power Rankings. I'm going to try to do this every week. I've done this for a couple times, but I missed last week. Whatever. So, Week 6, we have, an interesting Power Rankings. But honestly, let's look at Week 5 to compare. So, the Bills are the real deal. Is that true? We're going to have to find out. So this is from Week 5, from last week. Kansas City was 4-0. The Packers were 4-0. They had a bye week. Baltimore, they were 3-1. They lost to the Chiefs a week before that, I believe. The Bills were number 4. Look at that. Take that into consideration. Steelers at 5. 6. Makes sense. Titans. Let's go all the way to the bottom to look at the worst team. Of course, the New York Jets. Who's surprised? And then we have the Giants. The two New York teams, the worst teams in the league. The Washington football team at 30. Texans at 29. Wow, look at that. Falcons, wow. So that's from Week 5. Let's see what happens to Week 6. So, honestly, Week 6 was pretty nice. Week 5 was nice, I should say. Week 6 is going to be pretty good also. If this could freaking load, it's going to bring me to Week 6. Alright, ready? If you read the title, we saw that the Green Bay Packers are now number 1. They had a bye Week 5. They did not play, of course, and they're number 1 in the NFL. I'm not surprised. The Packers are very good. We're just going to have to see. They have a very easy schedule. I think they could probably end up with 14 or 15 wins. Number 2, the Chiefs. They lost to the Raiders. Wow. They gave up a lot of big plays. 5 plays of at least 40 yards. And Patrick Mahomes was not playing good. The Raiders defense figured him out. We're going to wonder if the Chiefs lose any games like that ever again. We're going to see. We have the Ravens at 3. Maybe deserving. They honestly had that really nice win. But the Bengals, they're horrible. They only allowed 3 points, so that was honestly the highlight of the game if I look at it in the eye of anybody else. Obviously, their offense is good, but the defense only allowing 3 points, it's pretty nice, not going to lie. And at number 4, oh my God, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Who's surprised? They're 4-0, first time in a long time. It's been almost 30 years since 1979. That's almost 40 years, actually. 41 years, it says it right there. I don't even know why I said that. But the eye-popping player of the game, Mr. Chase Claypool, what a monster. Did you get 4 touchdowns? He's a rookie. 4 touchdowns. He absolutely obliterated the Eagles, but who's surprised? So they're at number 4 with an undefeated record. Number 5, the Titans. That is the biggest surprise to me. They had 2 weeks off, 16 days off to prepare for the Bills, and they absolutely slaughtered them, 42-16. This team is legit. This team is very good. Do not count the Titans out. Of course, we have the Seahawks at number 6. They got very, I'm not going to say they're bad. Russell Wilson's a monster. He carried that game. But all I got to say is that the Vikings, they should have won that game, but they didn't. It was 4th and literally inches. All they had to do is get that first down. They go for it, and they're stuffed. Nice attempt by the Vikings, but the Seahawks came on top, 5-0. Honestly, with this at number 6, I expect the Vikings to be ranked higher. We're going to have to see what happens. Obviously, Metcalf, he popped off too. And number 7, we have the tragedy of the Buffalo Bills, who just absolutely get destroyed by the Titans. You got to wonder why. That was embarrassing. I expected the Titans to play good, but the Bills turned the ball over a lot. Interceptions. I believe there was a turnover on, the kickoff. It's just it was an embarrassing game for the Bills. Like I said, the Bills are number 4 last week. Now they're 7 because of that embarrassing loss to Tennessee. Number 8, and well-deserving, we have the Los Angeles Rams. So I think the Rams should be 5-0. They got scammed against the Bills. Honestly, I think the Rams are better than the Bills. Just very, very bad. Officiating by the refs in that Bills-Rams game, whatever. But the highlight of the week for the Rams is Aaron Donald. Dude had a monstrous day. He finished with 4 sacks and won the game. 4 sacks. Like, man, this dude is on pace. I already know all this stuff. I'm not even reading it. But, this dude's on pace for 24 sacks this year. That is the NFL record. If he, ultimately gets that. Defensive Player of the Year, Aaron Donald. And at number 9, got the Cleveland Browns. Man, they deserve it, not going to lie. And, the Browns, they play the Steelers this week. Going to be a good game. We're going to see what happens. I like how the Browns' offense played better all passing-wise until Baker started throwing picks in the second half. But the offense was playing good. The defense was playing good. The Browns deserve this. So, what does this mean? We look at the top 10, and we have 3 teams in the same division in the top 10. And those teams are, of course, the Cleveland Browns, the Pittsburgh Steelers, and the Baltimore Ravens. So this division is stacked this year. But unlike those teams, there is a division that is embarrassing. It's not the Saints, but at number 10 we have the Saints. Emmanuel Sanders had a good game. This was a very lucky win for the Saints, not going to lie. Chargers should have won off of a field goal, but they didn't. They are an embarrassment with all that talent they have. The Saints are number 10. And number 11, we have the Patriots and the Buccaneers at 12. They're 2-2. That's expected, but Cam Newton lost to the Patriots. They didn't even play Cam Newton. He had COVID. They canceled the game week 5, and they actually rescheduled it to week 6. So this game is just going to be played again against the Broncos, whatever. So 11, I kind of disagree with 11. I think that's too high. I think they're more like 15, 16, or 17. But number 12, obviously, we got the Buccaneers. They lost to the Bears by 1 point on Thursday Night Football. It was an embarrassing game for Tom Brady. All that talent they have on offense. Chris Godwin was out. But this team, embarrassment. They lost to the Bears, like what? But whatever. This team's deserving of 12. Number 13, we have the Las Vegas Raiders. This is the biggest surprise of the week. Derek Carr, monster game. Henry Ruggs, monster game. Doesn't even say it. But Nelson Aguilar, monster game. They beat the Patriots in Kansas City, something that hasn't happened in a long time. But dating back to last year, the last time the Chiefs lost, this is the first loss the Chiefs have suffered. This team is legit. It went up 8 spots because it beat the Chiefs. We're going to have to see this team is actually legit. This is my wild card of the year. No idea if they're going to be good or bad. We're just going to see. Number 14. This team has surprised me, not going to lie. I thought this team was going to be bottom 20, probably like 25, 26, 27. But they're playing good. Robbie Anderson's playing good. DJ Moore's playing good. Curtis Samuel's playing good. They don't even need McCaffrey. Mike Davis had like 30 fantasy football points. This team, good offense, and we're just going to see what happens. Cardinals at 15. They deserve it. They lost to the Panthers. Makes sense. Not even going to explain why. And this is the most disappointing one on the list. 16. This is the worst. This is the worst on the list. Can't disagree with that fact. They do not deserve 16. They deserve 12, 11, 10, maybe 9. This team is better. It's 4-1. It's better than the Cardinals, the Panthers, the Raiders. It beat the Buccaneers. and somehow they're 16. You gotta wonder why. So next we have the Chargers. They go up a spot even though they're 1-4. And the reason why is because Mr. Justin Herbert playing like, he's the next Patrick Mahomes. Like, this dude's a monster. They honestly deserved to win that Saints game, but they didn't. He came very close. His team scores high in the first half and then loses in the second half. It's a big fault for this team. 1-4. Next we have the Colts, who go down 6 spots. 6 spots. You gotta wonder why. But of course, I saw this coming. This team has a very good defense, but it got exposed by Baker Mayfield. Really, bro? And honestly, their offense is horrible. I didn't think it was going to be good. I didn't think Phillip Rivers was the answer. Their offense is not good. Their defense is carrying them every time they win a game. But we saw what happened. They got destroyed by the Browns, bro. All right, Vikings. It doesn't make sense. Even though they're 1-4, they are a lot better than their record shows. They had a really rough start to the year, but they easily could have won that Seattle Seahawks game very easily. And Seattle's like number 6 on the power rankings. Vikings, I don't know what to say about them. Dalvin Cook's injured, but I think they should be a little bit higher. I'm not going to say they're better than these teams, but they should be higher. Number 20, the Dolphins, the surprise of the week. Of course, they destroy the 49ers. This team is going to surprise us all. We're going to see if they make a wild card appearance. But this team just destroyed the 49ers. Speaking of the 49ers, they're at 21. -7. They were number 2 week 1 on the power rankings. Now they're number 21. Who saw it coming? Of course I did. I thought the 49ers were going to be worse, but I didn't think it was going to be that worse. Obviously, their defense, their offense suffered a lot of injuries. Their defense, of course, a lot of season-ending injuries. Expect a bad team. 43-17, though. That is embarrassing. And next, we have the Cowboys. Sorry to all the Dak Prescott fans, but he's out. So earlier in the video, I said there were 3 teams in the top 10 in the same division. And those 3 teams are the Ravens, the Steelers, and the Browns. And this is the first team I've seen on the power rankings that's in the NFC East. The first team in the NFC East. At 22. It shows how embarrassing this division is. At 22, we have the Dallas Cowboys in first place of the NFC East. And they're a horrible team on defense. Their offense doesn't even win games. It's embarrassing. I think Andy Dalton could actually make this team better. We're going to have to see what happens. There's no excusing that defense, though. It's horrible. Number 23, the next team in the NFC East, the Philadelphia Eagles. The 1-3-1 record. How embarrassing. It says Miles Sanders ripped off a 74-yard touchdown, but we look at the stats. The Steelers only allowed like 22 rushing yards outside of this one play. So this is an outlier. This is a horrible thing. Steelers just gave up one play the rest of the game. They gave up 22 rushing yards. But Travis Fulgham, dude, this dude's a monster. If anything, he's the reason why this team is going to win games. But look at their defense. I'm not going to say they played bad on their defensive line. It was a decent effort. But their secondary get torched by Chase Claypool. How embarrassing. Obviously, we have the Texans next. They win a game against the freaking Jaguars. Jaguars stink. But 24 makes sense. 25, we have the Detroit Lions, who did not play week 5. They had a bye week. And this team is, Mas or Menos. It could be good, it could be bad. 25 makes sense. And number 26, the last team in the AFC North. Every other team in that division is just so good that I feel bad for the Bengals. But we have the Bengals at 26. They go down 3 spots because they get destroyed by the Ravens. Their offense was shut out. and their defense was exposed. They don't have a defense. Their offense was shut out. 27, the Broncos. Makes sense. They're horrible. 28, the Jaguars. Makes sense. They're horrible. And 29. Man, oh man. All I gotta say is that I made a video predicting the Falcons record in like March, April 2020. And I said the Falcons were gonna win 5 games. And all I gotta say are the Falcons fans in the comment section like, oh, we're winning the Super Bowl. We're gonna have 12 wins. We're gonna have 11 wins. Sorry. You can only have an 11-5 record if you win out, and we already know you're not winning out. This team is embarrassing. They fired their coach. All the Falcons fans out there, that's what I thought. 30, we have the third place team in the NFC East, the Washington football team, with a 1-4 record. Man, this is just embarrassing. 31, we have the 0-5 New York Giants, who choked against the Cowboys. You know, like I said before, the Cowboys, Eagles, Washington football team, and the New York Giants are all 22 and below. And they are all in the same division. How embarrassing. And of course, at 32, no surprise, Le'Veon Bell, he's gone. This team is horrible. Honestly, tank for Trevor. Sam Darnold's, this is his last season as a Jet. They're getting Trevor in the draft. So that's it. You know, the AFC North is looking nice. The NFC West is looking nice. But you already know. The NFC East. With a 1-2... Sorry. Well, let me just show you again. We got the Cowboys with a 2-3 record in first place of the NFC East. We have the Eagles with a 1-3-1 record, half a game behind the Cowboys. Second place in the NFC East. We go all the way to 30 with the Washington football team, third place in the NFC East. And the Giants, 0-5. I don't understand. I think the Cowboys or the Eagles, whoever wins that division, they're not going to have a winning record. It's going to be an embarrassing year, but we're just going to see what happens. So that's my take on the power rankings. Hope you enjoyed. Adios.